Hey there, folks. How we doing? It's 9:19 a.m. The heck day is it? Monday, December 7th. Huh. 7 is 12. 7. 7 is knowledge, like spiritual related knowledge. There's some understanding in there. And then 12, the 2 and the 1, 2 is harmony coming together. It's also actual understanding. And self. 1 is self. So the spiritual understanding of yourself. And that's amazingly enough, it's something we're going to talk about. Well, we're going to talk about. A lot of you are much too concerned about when I'm gonna go. Okay, we don't own these bodies anyway. I'm different. Okay, I have to. I have a job I have to do. That's all. Everyone gets so caught up in the finality of stuff. I've got over 400 videos out there. Actually, 3 different books. The 2 books in the creation series, and a 3rd book about runes. Just the basic symbols. It's the handbook that goes with the rune cards when you buy them. It helps you wake up. I've left you everything. I'm not staying here forever. I can't serve everyone properly until I get out of here. Exactly when? I don't know. I have no idea. I know I have to go. But it's just, people, please. I had to say what I said. So in case I have to deal with things aggressively, then you understand, and then that's it. Just let that go, okay? And that brings up the topic for today. People say it's a matter of life or death, or life and death, whatever. While we're in a body, we tend to put such a finality on our own existence with this life and death thing. Why? Okay, now the union you have with this body and the spirit from the planet, that spirit's had a lot of lives too. Okay, I mean a lot. Okay, so have you. So, remember that the only finality is you giving this body back to the planet. That's it, and you're stopping a relationship that you have with this one individual spirit that's part of Gaia. Okay, and chances are you've had quite a few lives with that with one of those energies before, depending on how old you are. That's hard to say, but you know the thing is, it's the end of a union there, but that's it. It's not the end of anything else. You had to turn in your release card. That's all. It's a big deal for those of us that are here thinking about someone that's not in our lives anymore. But it's not a big deal as far as yourself. It's like those people who have died and gone home and then come back. 90-something, whatever, 98% of them that actually go through that never fear death again. They're ready for it. They're not about to commit suicide, most of them, to get there, but they're ready. They're not ready to take their own lives, but they know at the end of their life, there's something good to have. Okay, I'm just a little different, that's all. I have a job that has to be done. It's like one of you having a job that a project you're doing at work, and you're so close to finishing it. And then it being installed, a computer programmer writing a program, you've almost got it finished. You're ready to go to work, finish writing a program and install it, and then boom, you have a much better process, a better format. That's all it is. Those of you holding on to that, please let go, because I give you the information of what's out there, but until you do something yourself, all you have is a book with words in it. Knowledge is nothing until it's consumed and becomes understanding. And then when you get enough pieces of understanding, you develop more and more wisdom. Wisdom is a collection of understandings that came from you understanding, absorbing, realizing, finding some truth in, and understanding knowledge. Everyone's freaking out about I gotta die. Whether or not they have to die. Okay. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't die. I have to stay alive. You're 107 years old. Do you really think you want to stay alive? Chances are probably not. You're really tired of it. Some people might really want to. That's okay. But these bodies are not permanent. Your energy, your spirit is, unless it really screws up and needs to be deleted. It just keeps going and growing. And it's going to start evolving into something much better. Okay? Don't worry about death. So many people live with the fear of death. It's like they live not to die. You can die 1,000 times a day worrying about it. Why not just do it once? People forget about that, would you please? It's like, how will we know what to do? All I can do is show you something, and then you have to find it yourself. It's like I've told, not many, but some people I've cranked up and gone into. I said, Jay, and I don't feel an ability or anything else, and I'm looking at them. I see my energy in there just flowing, strong. And I said, man, if you say you want to go fast, and I give you a Ferrari, I put the keys in your hand, and then you sit on the couch eating potato chips and soda, and you don't go anywhere, and you say, Jay, what the hell's the matter? How come I'm not driving around my Ferrari? And I'm like, did you get up? Did you get your butt off the couch? Did you actually start to use what you have? No. Until you do, it's going to sit there. Why should it do anything else? If you can buy a set of weights and put them in a house, and until you use them, they ain't doing nothing. The same thing goes, I've given you all the information. I'm staying here forever. For Pete's sake, people. Come on. It's time for you to take charge of yourself. My last life, Gandhi. Be the change you want to see around you. Be the change you want to have happen in the world. It starts with you having a thought and moving a foot and an arm, okay? And next thing you know, you're walking. Just like when I made that huge trek out to the sea to make salt. I was told not to, and I said, yeah, kiss my grits. I couldn't believe they actually said that. I was so glad to have the media and everyone there, but the whole time I was doing that, I was pissed. I didn't care about the media, news people. I thought it was good. I liked it, but I didn't care. I was going down to make some salt. Why? Because they said I couldn't, and I needed it, so screw them. So people, life and death is not a final thing. Your spirit, your energy. You literally were put into a body. I've explained how that happens many times, in many videos. And then you have a life, and then you get the body back. So there's birth, there's death. Okay, in a nutshell, birth. A man and a woman get together, and then they copulate. You have a embryo, and then the embryo starts to actually grow. It has the energy of the planet in it. Gaia has already got part of her spirit, one piece of her spirit in there. So it's ready to start having a life, and then it's starting to grow. And then all of a sudden, when the head's developed enough, then female source energy takes energy like a hand, source energy, and makes a barrier, and goes at the head and pushes that earthen spirit to the left side of the brain, and then leaves the barrier right there. And then on the right hand side, we'll put spirit in there. Your actual spirit goes in there. But remember, you are a combination, 60% of you and 40% of the human thing, okay? Which has a lot to do, like the autonomic system. That's part of the spirit from Gaia, okay? That's how the spirit, the soul, is put in a body, and it's half of it. 60% of it, on an average. So what's death? So that's birth. Death is the opposite. The removal of the two spirits from the body. Usually it's the spirit of the body that's wanting to hold on so hard. It's like, no, I can't let go of this. I can't let go of this. It comes from the earth. It likes being attached to a physical body. It's natural. It's Gaia's body, so it's attached to it. Gaia owns these bodies, the physical bodies. So it's natural for it to want to hold on. But people, you're holding on to, quote unquote, dear precious life at a time when it's just 99% of the 97% of the time, when you need to just let go and go get over it, and just go home. Everyone's afraid. I can't go home because what's death? There is no home. There's nothing. The body goes in the ground. The worms go through my eyeballs, and I just become part of the soil. The body does. Belongs to the earth. Whether you burn it, whatever you do, it belongs to the earth. Your religions, your governments, your religions teach you, oh, you can go to hell. There is no hell. There's no way in hell. How about that? It's just not going to happen. It doesn't happen. Never has, never will. This thing you call the devil, Lucifer, it was his energy always keeping you from ever going there. That silver string attached to you, that's part of source energy. Right now running around the field, that's actually part of my outer energy. And it attaches you to the other side so you can't get lost. There's 2 precautions to keep you from getting lost. The third one is you have your spirit guides. Animal and, human type. Human fae. So... I realize y'all can't see that, and I wish you could. Like I've said a few times before, that sure would make my job easier of trying to help you understand what's on the other side. Your lives are going to become incredibly enhanced when Lily and I are running the other side. Okay? And I'll be over there taking care of stuff immediately. I mean, not tomorrow. I'm just saying, since I get over there, I'll be taking care of things immediately, and I can't wait long. It's just, so what? Who cares? Okay? Your bodies can be run. Okay? And when you need to be kept calm as possible, you will be. Okay? So if you're worried about something falling apart, don't. It's not going to be allowed to. The new way of running things on the other side, as soon as it's done, is literally compassion, honor, and equality. It's easy to run a body. A 5th generation soul can attach to, that's out of body, can touch you and actually run your body, not knowing what to do, but yeah, you'd be doing all kinds of goofy stuff if it was allowed to happen. But the souls that you have for spirit guides are stronger than them, so they'll keep them away. That's part of the animal's job, too. Animal essence, I told you, they're the new sentinels. They're going to be involved in all kinds of stuff. This angel energy stuff, that's enough of that. There's no need for it. It's too problematic. But anyway, folks, please don't... It's good to want to stay alive and do things. It's good to share all the love we do when we're in a body. But it's not the end all. It's not the end all, folks. You're going to have a lot more lives and everything else. A lot of you are ready to be done with what you're doing. And then when we have Fae bodies, when we're really ready, the energy bodies, we just leave. No problem. The Fae can't quite do that. The energy bodies you're going to have and the new lives coming up, it's going to take a couple thousand years to get this thing squared away. You're literally going to be able to just drop out when you want. However, the only quote-unquote penalty, or the only thing that will be affected, the only major decisions that'll be affected by that, is if you keep doing that, you do that 2 or 3 times, in a short amount of lives, then you need to, when you want to have a life, the life you write is going to be looked over a whole lot more carefully, and things will be pointed out. Remember, as spirit, who you really are, you're incredibly smart. You've heard that swimming pool analogy from me 1,000 times probably. Trying to put your actual intelligence into any kind of physical, brain is like pouring a swimming pool into a balloon. Good luck. So that's going to happen. You're going to be able to pop in and out of body. These new energy bodies will hold more intelligence. Not all of it by any means, but more. You're going to be having lives with your actual spirit mates. Incredible. So, those of you that listen to me, please just be concerned about relaxing. I don't want this to sound arrogant, but there's a lot of people that want to talk to me every day, and I want to talk to them. I can't. I'm stuck in a body. When I get out, I don't have a problem. I'm all over the place. That's one of the wonderful things about, being free, and the new body is going to be awesome. It's like going from a subcompact to a slightly larger, faster car that fits everyone. That does not mean disrespect the lives we have. These are important, but it's not an end-all thing. It's not finality. It's the end of a union of 60% your spirit, 40% the Earth's spirit, and then the body. And then the energy necessary within the body to maintain physical cohesion. So, please try to relax with that in your own lives. And, when it's time, it happens. But as soon as you can understand who you really are, you'll be happy when someone goes. You'll miss them. You'll miss their physical companionship, but you'll be happy. And the main thing is for people to stop fearing death. It's like, oh my gosh, there's nothing. Well, that's right. There's nothing in your brain to let you know what comes next. That's been kept from you. That barrier in your head was to keep you from seeing it. It was to keep you from becoming awake and becoming aware of that. What would happen if you did? What would happen if you were aware of what it's like to be on the other side? Then the original first being male and female couldn't continually abuse you. You wouldn't be that upset. Your energy wouldn't be frustrated like this, so that when you get out of the body, the energy, instead of going like this, the energy goes boom like this. So they couldn't have that. That's gone. Everything's changing. It's time it did. It's time you all had your own lives to run. One of the first things you can do is realize who you really are inside, and to know that this existence is a temporary one, because you don't live here. It's like 5 days a week you live on the other side as who you really are. Okay, spirit, sentient energy, and then over the weekend you come have a life. If you were to break it up in time frame and everything, that's the system that we're going to have. So when you have a life, you get out, and you after you have a life, you get out, and then you start to relax and start feeling everything that you had on that life. Understand it. There's data, there's emotions, there's all kinds of stuff. Gut feeling, intuition, seeing, all that. You just work with it. It flows through you. You slowly digest it, get the meaning out of it, and then you can release any of the issues you've had. So you're stronger. You have more knowledge and understanding and wisdom. Remember, wisdom is a bunch of different understandings, which comes from having collected enough data and consumed it to where it's, it does you some good. So that's what's going to help you get somewhere. Worrying, It's impossible to tell a parent, excuse me, not to worry about their child. But the less you worry, the better you can handle anything that does come up if it does. And worrying about death is a total waste of time, energy. It keeps your DNA, instead of being relaxed, it takes your DNA and just cramps it together like a slinky. That doesn't do any good. That cuts off your immune system, your abilities, can make you sick. So please remember that both birth and death of a physical body is not really the beginning and end of anything other than that one lease car that you're having a life in. And I'm not saying to disrespect it at all. It deserves a lot of respect. But you need to understand it wasn't your first life and it's not going to be your last. You know, chances are. So, folks, please try to let that go. Okay? Take the time to become aware, to awaken. And remember, you're never fully awake until you're out of your body and you're your normal self. Then you're fully awakened. The great ascension, where you float out of your body. Oh, for Pete's sake, everyone's ascended every time they die. That's what ascension is. So, everyone's trying so hard to live a life where they're trying to be more positive and everything else. That's good. But to think you're ascending because you're doing this? No. I got a better idea. Instead of thinking so much about every little thing you do, why don't you spend some time, because that gets you nervous and antsy, why don't you try relaxing? Normal breaths in and out. Normal, relaxed, natural breaths in and out. A little deeper, relaxing. Flow down inside yourself. You calm your body down. And then once you do that, then you relax. Take a deeper breath and don't try to suck in the clouds, folks. Come on, just a little deeper, natural breath. Then take 3 or 4 more. And then just imagine pulling 2 pins out of your top of your brain, and your conscious mind is like a bunch of gears moving together. They keep moving, but they stay over here. They get away from you. And then here you're left alone to be your true self. And then you just float right there inside yourself. You can float down in yourself. As you imagine yourself floating into yourself, you actually go more into yourself. And just be you. Find out who you are. How can you change yourself to make yourself better when you don't even know who you are yet? You want to change yourself? Find out who you are, number 1. And number 2, find out how you feel about things, really feel. Okay, and what makes sense. And then number 3, the more you are that, the more you're awake, aware, the more of yourself you really are, the more you understand about what's going on, how you feel, the more easily you're literally just going to do what's natural for you, and then you're going to be as close as you can be to the complete you without being free of a body. So, find yourself first, okay? Because then, and only then, are things really going to make sense. Then and only then can you look at some of the stuff people say and say, this is crazy. This is just, makes no sense. A lot of you can do that naturally, but most people can't. And everyone is going to be waking up, folks. It's time, it's going to happen, like it or not. The more negative someone's energy is, the less they're going to want to, and you're going to see less and less of them anyway. Especially while the change is happening, while the format change is occurring. So anyway, look, folks, love you. Please don't get hung up on the life and death thing. It's like a day snapshot in a life of 100 years. Okay, you know, and actually not even that, but that's just one way to look at how small it really is. Take care of your body, have a good life, hopefully a full one, but don't worry about coming and going because it's a natural thing. Okay, it's very natural, and you've all done it hundreds of millions of times minimum, almost minimum. Okay. The fifth wave of souls is very few of them. I've met them, like I've said before, that have had 19, 21, 23 lives, 25 lives. I'm like, wow, that's not on this planet, that's total. Anyway, love you all, man. Please relax and find yourself, and then look into other things. But the more you run around, like an out of control speedboat that's got the accelerator locked down full tilt and it's just going whatever which way, you never get anywhere, and that's just going to make you more anxious. Stop, relax, go inside yourself, find yourself, and then when you can understand you've had other lives, that really helps you understand what's going on. Okay, I've talked about Dr. Brian L. Weiss. I've done a couple things myself, but I have too much information and too much of a broad spectrum stuff to do to go out and do this stuff. Dr. Brian L. Weiss is awesome. He does past life stuff and everything. He never believed. He's solar plexus energy. He never believed in any of this stuff until things happened in his life. You just look at my YouTube videos and punch in Dr. Brian L. Weiss or Brian Weiss. And then there's also who's a really cool soul, by the way, very old, first wave. And then there's also Doctors Stephen D. Farmer, earthmagic.net. He has a lot of good stuff on there as far as animal energy, what's going on. He's got a download, MP3 download, I think it is, that's called 4x4 breath, 4x4 breath. And that's a good way to just calm down and relax a little bit. He's Source. He's pretty strong. He's from Lily and Era. Their philosophies about things are different, and that's cool. Doesn't matter. I'm here to give you the information. And when I need to get a little radical about some of the stuff that's here, I do. I think you all know that. But try not to worry about what's happening when. Okay, because everything's keeping moving, and it just, we're at a point where things are going to get better real soon. Okay, they're already calming down. They're just everything on the other side is confused. They can't run. It can't. It won't work. Not yet, but it will. So anyway, look, love y'all. Try not to worry so much about death or dying. Think positive. Keep moving forward. And just be yourself. That's an awesome, awesome thing. It really is. Love you, man. Have a good one.